Alright, well I feel like I'm at the stage now where I've had the S3 for long enough to give you my views on it. I'll do a review later on when I've had it for a week or two, just to sort of update you more, because you know there's the initial it's amazing excitement sort of thing. But on that note, when I got the One X, I've seen to a few people, when I got it home and I got it out, I was a little bit underwhelmed with it. It was like, meh. You know, it was alright, it wasn't amazing to begin with, but when I got this thing home, or even when I got it open, cracked it out, it was a fab. So, I said initially, the things that I am interested in are the satellite navigation, Google Maps. I've used that today. I've travelled from Lancaster to Reading, so it's about, I don't know, 200 odd miles, 5-hour drive anyway, and I like the responsiveness of the sat-nav. It redirects you quickly. The One X locked up about 3 times over various journeys, and just I had to physically restart it, and as you know, without being able to take the battery off, that was a pain. This thing, the overall performance of it, whether you're just whipping through screens or whatever, just generally opening apps and dealing with things, feels quicker, is better. I mean, if I just go into the navigation thing, wherever it is, it feels, I mean, it seems to get the lock on things quicker. If I go to recent destinations, this is where I am now, the hotel. And bearing in mind I've got H plus here, I've got 1 bar of signal.
Then you will arrive at your destination.
It's telling me that I'll arrive at the destination straight away. So it even with a pretty pot, I'm saying it's got a few bars of signal now. It's got about 3 bars of H plus, but it responds quicker. It's less frustrating. So the sat nav side of it, I really like. I think that people generally use, with a smartphone, you've got the phone side of it, you've got the texting side of it, you've got the camera, and a little bit of browsing, then you've got your apps, your games, your other stuff. Generally speaking, you need a good battery, you need to be able to make calls, you need to be able to text people, and you need or you like to use the camera. All those things on the phone work well. The battery is much better than the One X. Now I've had people telling me that I've got a crap One X, their One X is better. I've had software updates, I have calmed down the use of it, and I have got more familiar with what it can and can't do, but I'm not confident that when I get home I'll still have enough power. I'll have to stick it on charge if I want to do a quick video or whatever with it. I know that it's not going to let me, because it's always down the bottom end of that chart. This has been on charge in the car today, because obviously using it as a sat-nav, can't really let it just run on its own. But the battery performance, I got 1 day, so many hours. I took a screenshot, which I'll put in the opinionated review Facebook group. So the battery life is much better. The overall responsiveness on the screen, I'll do videos obviously of the phone itself. The overall responsiveness, the way apps open, the way apps close, whipping between things, seems to be quicker. Now they do say that the Tegra 3 has a 5th core on the processor. It kind of does the menial task, so it takes a little bit, or you've got to open so many tabs on the browser before it thinks, oh, I'm going to use the main processor and give you a bit, rather than letting the Sly Ninja core do all the background work. So there is that. But this just seems to come to life quicker. It just seems faster. It's a pleasant experience. It's not frustrated me at all. And I know it's very early days, but by now at this point, One X had upset me quite a lot. And I got over its quirks. I got used to the fact that Sense is different to TouchWiz. It's not a case of this is different, I don't like it. I did actually get to the point where I was getting used to the foibles and quirks and the 3 dots and stuff, but wow, not having the 3 dots and having a dedicated menu button is so good. The standard keyboard on this isn't amazing. It's a little bit annoying at times. You type a word and it thinks you mean another word, so it auto-corrects it. And normally a keyboard says touch to save this. It doesn't seem to do that. But again, you can install different keyboards. So, sat-nav, battery, both really good. Camera, excellent. It's the same, I would say the same quality as the camera on the One X. I think the UI on the One X is nicer. It's a bit more simpler, you can get to the options quicker, but there's a lot more options on this, so it swings and roundabouts really. I think the One X one looks better, but I mean, somebody asked me as well, how quickly can you go from sort of static to camera? So if we just wake it up slightly and then just drag the camera up, that to me is the same sort of time. Maybe slightly quicker. I mean, but again, we're not going to get to that point of, oh, it's it's 0.1 of a second faster. I think the One X is something like 0.7 seconds. You can pull it out of your pocket and not miss an opportunity to take a picture really quickly. I can compare them next to each other, but it's not like one takes a minute, one takes 30 seconds. Within reason, I would say they're exactly the same. And I even think I read that they've got the same camera module in them and stuff, same as the iPhone 4S. So you're not going to be waiting for the camera, and the actual snapper, when you're actually taking the pictures, is just as quick. Go back to camera, because I've had it on video. Where's the button? So you can just keep tapping the button and take as many as you want. And if you put it on burst mode, somewhere, where is it? Single shot beauty cartoon. Oh, the thing is, there's a lot. Shooting mode, single shot. Where is it? I can't find it. But yeah, I'll do a separate camera review, because obviously it's a whole area on its own. I haven't really shown you much on this, but in answer to your questions, the camera is fine. It's great. It's got more settings than the One X. I think I prefer the interface on the One X, but again, One X, when you're doing burst mode and stuff, it reset on me a few times. Now, whether that's Sense, whether that's Ice Cream Sandwich, I'm not saying it is. I'm not saying my phone is a duff one. I'm saying stress-free, excellent time with this so far. Pull the camera out, snap, done a lot of videos with it. Doesn't go out of sync when I record a video like the One X did. This is a really, really nice unit to use, and it sort of got me excited again about Android, because I was losing my patience with the One X, and I was getting to the point where I was getting frustrated. And again, just to go back over on the battery life, I know I'm hopping around quite a lot here, but the other night when I got it home for the first time, I was on it all the time. I'd recorded a 700 odd meg video file. I was trying to transport it to my Mac. I tried to transfer it by Bluetooth, upload it to Google Drive, so I had Bluetooth on, I had Wi-Fi on, the screen was on, I was hammering everything, and it still had power when I went to bed. I left it overnight, and the alarm woke me up in the morning. And again, I'll post that picture. So the battery life, if you're a power user or a super user, like constant on your phone like I am, it's going to be alright for you. It's going to be great. You are going to get a day out of it comfortably. And today, when I was driving, I had every notification you could think of across the top. And obviously I'm changing radio signals as I'm picking up the map, the network as I'm travelling. I had GPS on the screen on full. The unit was ever so slightly warm, and it was doing a lot. It's nowhere near. The One X gets a heck of a lot hotter than this with the Tegra 3 in it, doing the same sort of workload, and it doesn't manage it as well. It falls over a lot more. And I've had other people say theirs fall over. It's not. And as far as a unit goes, I think mine's fine. I don't think there's anything wrong with it. Since that last firmware update, I'd say, because people have been saying, oh, take it back, it's the flickering is a hardware issue. It wasn't. The software resolved it. So side by side, which we will do, you will see, I think, that this comes out on top. And it comes out that I prefer this much more. I don't prefer it because it's Samsung and because it's a Galaxy. I prefer things that are better, or things that work for me better. Like I've got my Mac laptop and I've got a PC laptop. I prefer the Mac one because it's better for me. It does better for me. I don't, with the fanboyism, I don't prefer it because it's Samsung. I prefer it because it's better and it happens to be Samsung. The sound on the video is not great. It's quite tinny when you record a video. It's not as jumpy and stuttery as the One X. When you move it up and down, the other one jumps and it throws focus quite a lot. But this one is great. You can get notifications through the videos and it doesn't bother it. Oh, even though you should turn your phone bit off when you're recording anyway. But the sound does sound tinny. Now, whether it's because I'm used to recording on the DSLR, so I'm used to a better quality of sound, but I think in comparison to the Galaxy S2 and the HTC One X, the sound quality on the video isn't as good, hands down. Another thing I was asked for was direct sunlight in the screen and low light. I've not done any photos in low light yet. I might do a little bit later on or tonight. But the actual screen in the car, I have it on just under sort of a third brightness. The brightness it's on here is nowhere near. It's nowhere near full brightness. In fact, if I go into my settings and go to display brightness, I don't know if you can see that, but the slider is kind of about here. It can go all the way over. I'm not actually dragging it there, but it's more than bright enough. And if you slid it all the way up, and I'm looking at it in the car, the sun's reflecting on it. It was a pretty bright day really, but I could see it. I could really easily see the screen. So that's been asked quite a lot. What's it like in direct sunlight? As far as the edge clipping and the white balance, the angle of the screen, when I first got the Galaxy S2 with the Super AMOLED Plus, it was a bit washed out and a bit green. It had like a green haze on it. This doesn't. It has excellent viewing angles, as does the One X in fairness, but the thing about the AMOLED is it's as far to the front of the glass as it can be, if that makes sense. The picture just looks like it's painted on the screen, and it looks really, really nice. So yeah, a more in-depth review of the actual phone, seeing the phone work, and I'll do an in-depth side-by-side of the One X as well. But this is just more in-depth thoughts. I did the initial thoughts the other day, and now I'm doing a bit more of a, I've had it a little bit longer. So don't worry, if you're sick of seeing this, the next video that I do, the next videos you see on this channel, will be close-ups of the phone and the features themselves, rather than my face. Okay? So I can't really think of anything off the top of my head now. I've probably waffled on for far too long as it is. Keep the questions coming on facebook.com/theopinionated review, or just under these videos. I do get quite a lot of comments under these videos, so I try and reply to all the comments. Email doesn't always tell me when I've got them or not. If you stick them on the Facebook, it's a bit easier to keep track of them. But again, put them wherever you want. Email me if you want. Whatever you think, and I'll just try and get these things answered. But again, next time I'll do some filming of the device itself. In fact, while I'm here for the next couple of days, I'll probably do this, do the filming now. Anyway, so alright, I'm going to go, and thanks for watching. Any questions, give me a shout. Speak to you later. Take care now.